Right now at 5, your weather station tracking strong storms moving through South Florida.
I'm David Bernard in Weather Control. I'm monitoring very heavy rain in the Keys. It's moving to South Florida. I'll give you an update coming up next.
All right, David, OnStar is a safety feature that millions of drivers depend on. So why will the service soon be hanging up on customers?
And could your birth weight reveal your future? Dr. Sean with how it could measure your success or your failure.
Ooh, good evening, South Florida. I'm Beatrice Canals.
And I'm Elliot Rodriguez. CBS 4 News at 5 starts right now.
Now, live. This is CBS 4 News at 5.
A live look outside right now where it has been a wet Wednesday across our area, and this weather is certainly not helping the evening commute for many people out there. The majority of South Florida has been hit with some strong storms today, and some of you have seen as much as 3 inches of rain.
Yeah, more to come too. CBS 4 meteorologist David Bernard joins us now with how long these storms will stick around. How about it, David?
Elliot, right now, good news for the rush hour. Look at real-time Doppler 4. The heavy rain has moved out of Metro Broward and Metro Miami-Dade. Just light rain around. The heaviest rain is across Palm Beach County, but in the Keys, we know it's a very different story with moderate to very heavy rain moving from Key West up to Marathon, then extending out through the Florida Bay into the southeast Gulf of Mexico. This rain is steadily moving toward the middle and upper Keys as well as the Everglades of South Florida. Now we go out even further, and this rain extends well out into the Gulf of Mexico. Therefore, I think it's going to be a rainy night. Let's look at our satellite and radar loop together. We can see how it all evolved today. Started with just a few showers last night, and then this disturbance coming in from the Gulf of Mexico, spreading widespread rain and storms across all of South Florida today. No one escaped the rain. Some areas did see very light amounts, especially in South Day, but other areas, the rain totals were even heavier. So here are the rain totals, and we notice Broward and North Dade, that's where the heaviest amounts have been. Opelika, just about 1.25 inches, just shy of an inch at Fort Lauderdale, nearly an inch in Pompano Beach. But look, West Kendall, no rain officially reported there, and just over 0.2 inches here at CBS 4, and very light amounts around Homestead. So we have this stormy setup. Yesterday, an area of low pressure moving off the Texas coast, lots of tropical moisture coming ahead of it. Today, that upper level low is over the eastern Gulf, putting us right smack dab in the middle of it. That's the reason for the heavy rain. And for tomorrow, I do expect storms again. The low is going to move off to the north and east, but there's going to be a tail of moisture left across South Florida, and as a result, it looks like storms are going to linger. I'll let you know how much rain to expect and when it's all going to end coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, David, thank you. Now, to track the storms and for weather updates anytime, you can go to our website, CBS4.com. You can always watch real-time radar there and get your 5-day forecast. It's all right there at CBS4.com.
Also in the news tonight at 5, they were wearing Halloween masks, but it was no prank when the 2 armed men tried to take over a local bank. CBS 4's Ted Scouten joins us live from Miramar with the latest on these robbers still on the run tonight. Ted.
Hey Beatrice, well, it turns out this whole thing was like a mini crime spree, if you will, that began with a carjacking and then ended up with what investigators are calling the hostile takeover of a bank. SunTrust employees hauled out of the bank with their hands cuffed behind them as cops checked to make sure that there are no robbers among them. Around 11 in the morning, 2 guys, each wearing a Halloween mask, pulled off what detectives call a hostile takeover.
We walked in and just and took over the bank and just pulled their weapons and said, you know, give us everything you got. You know the routine, give us all the money.
The bandits took off in this van, carjacked just hours before from Miami-Dade. As they sped off down Miramar Parkway, a die pack planted in the money exploded. That's when a guy driving nearby saw a wad of cash flying out of the window.
They dropped, I guess it dropped the money that was burning. They threw it off the window.
Moments later, that same witness saw one of the suspects get out of the van to chase after the money. Because of the crook's petite size, he appeared to be a woman, and it seemed his accomplice was ready to leave him behind.
The girl came out from the minivan, tried to lift the money to pick it up. It was burning. She dropped it back and went inside. We're running, chasing the minivan that went inside the parking lot right there.
Because the van took off without her?
Yeah, without her.
Robbers ditched that van behind St. Bartholomew's Catholic Church just across from the bank, and they certainly took off in a hurry. Look by the door there. They left some money behind. And right now, investigators are still trying to figure out if these 2 actually got away by running away on foot after they left that van, or if another car possibly picked them up. Right now, though, they're still on the run. We're live in Miramar. I'm Ted Scout, CBS 4 News.
A man accused of killing a South Florida woman by dragging her under his minivan is expected in South Florida tonight. 24-year-old Abdelaziz Hamzi was turned over to BSO deputies in New York City and is now on his way back to Broward County. Detectives say he was driving this minivan when he struck 44-year-old Sandra Hall and dragged her for about 2 miles underneath the vehicle. Hamzi will be charged with murder when he returns back to South Florida.
Well, it took more than 6 hours of heated debate and 1 arrest, but Broward County commissioners finally approved a plan for expanding the Fort Lauderdale-Hollywood Airport. CBS 4's Joan Murray is live at the airport to explain the plan to us tonight. Joan.
Well, it means a new runway, Beatrice, but it means a lot of other new things as well. And by the year 2015, you may not even recognize the Fort Lauderdale-Hollywood International Airport. A revamped Fort Lauderdale-Hollywood International Airport is about to take flight.
Those of you that in favor of the motion, please do so by raising your hand.
After the contentious vote for expansion, here's what we'll see. A new elevated south runway that will rise over 40 feet into the air, passing over the railroad tracks and Federal Highway.
This decision is about adding 22 gates. It's adding a new terminal. It's adding parking garage because you have to take the old one down because you're going to have so much traffic coming in and out of the airport. So it's a massive construction project, probably $2.5 billion.
Critics predict some of the low-cost carriers may go away, but commissioners insist no homeowner will be forced out.
Soundproofing their homes or buying them out if that's what they want is in the best interest of the community. The county commission needs to do that. It's the right thing to do.
This is South Florida. We live outside. Okay, this is my yard. Okay, see it? A beautiful view of the Dana Cutoff Canal here.
And that's why Ian Richter, who lives across from the airport, says expansion will destroy his quality of life.
Commissions in the past have said that they will, buy us out, give us fair market value for our homes. All that's been good talk, but I want to see the walk.
The Grand Master Plan still has to be created by the Broward County Commissioners. It's going to cost a lot of money, and these homeowners who are affected say they're going to fight it every step of the way through litigation. Near Fort Lauderdale, Joan Murray, CBS 4 News.
A 3-judge federal court panel heard arguments today in the controversy over a children's book about Cuba. Attorneys for the ACLU and the Miami-Dade School Board appeared before the panel, which should decide the fate of the book Vamos a Cuba. It was pulled off the shelves after some Cuban-American parents complained it paints a rosy picture of life on the communist island.
Offend me because it's inaccurate. I always say that 2 + 2 is not equal 5. I would never teach a small child that.
Censorship is not the American way. The American way is to, again, add other books with different viewpoints and give more information, not take information away.
Well, last year a judge ordered the books be returned to the shelves at local school libraries. That decision was appealed. No word on when a final ruling will be made. Meantime, the acting president of Cuba, Raul Castro, is saying tonight his brother looked magnificent in his first TV interview since falling ill last year. Fidel Castro spoke on Cuban TV last night for about 50 minutes. His brother joked with reporters today, saying since Fidel looks so good, he can now start working less. Fidel Castro did not mention anything about a possible return to power. What he did talk about was his meeting with officials from Vietnam, healthcare, and President Bush.
Well, with President Bush's popularity rating slipping, it's no surprise the GOP candidates in a debate distanced themselves from him and his handling of the war in Iraq. The 10 candidates also tackled other issues last night in New Hampshire, including immigration reform. Many candidates say they're against the bill backed by Bush. Tommy Thompson calls the bipartisan bill a, quote, amnesty bill. But the #1 topic at last night's debate was, without a doubt, the war.
It was a mistake to go, so it's a mistake to stay.
We did the right thing based on what we knew at that time.
This war was very badly mismanaged for a long time.
Now soon there may be 11 Republican candidates. Former Senator Fred Thompson has hinted that he might throw his hat into the race. So who do you think won Tuesday night's GOP debate? To vote in our online poll, just log on to our website, cbs4.com.
A scary day for the Pope in Vatican City today when a man leaps towards his Pope-mobile as if to attack him. Now take a look. You can see the Pope Benedict in St. Peter's Square. Then all of a sudden a man jumps over the railing and heads for the car. Security officers quickly wrestled the German man to the ground. The pontiff proceeded as if nothing happened. Well, tonight officials say there are no plans to change the use of open vehicles for the Pope's weekly audiences.
Well, it has been a couple of months in the works now, but it is official. The Dolphins are going green, hiring Trent Green to be their new quarterback. Within the past hour, Green spoke for the first time since the announcement was made. CBS 4's Kim Bocamper is live at Dolphin Camp with more for us. Hey, Kim.
Well, I can tell you this. You listen to Trent Green speak. He is impressive. He knows what he wants to do, and he understands what needs to be done here with Miami. As you can see, Trent Green still doing some interviews here with some of the members of the media as he goes through in his first press conference as a member of the Miami Dolphins. But Green's finally in the fold. It took months and months to get the job done, but he is finally the Dolphins quarterback. Cam Cameron introduces Trent this afternoon at the Dolphins Davie facility. 36-year-old two-time Pro Bowler has passed for over 26,000 yards in his career, including 3 straight seasons of 4,000 yards or more. Now, as for Dante Culpepper, he was told by Cameron this morning that, quote, "We are going in a different direction." Cameron was saying today at the press conference that something could happen as far as Dante Culpepper is concerned by Friday. We will find that out at the Dolphins minicamp. As far as Trent is concerned, he is a guy that's been in this league for a long time. He knows how to handle an offense, and he brings a lot more to the table than just a guy that can rack up stats and wins.
If you're shooting to be third best, then you've got to rearrange your priorities. So my ambitions and my goal are to be the starter and to help this team or this offense be the best they can be, because we all know what the defense is. It's about getting the offense better and making us better as a team.
Now, Trent Green comes in to be the Dolphins starter, and he says, look, he's not going to limit that to just they're here just for 1 year while John Beck gets ready to be the starter. He says, look, I can't tell you how long I'm going to go, but I'm going to play here to be the Miami Dolphins starter as long as I possibly can. That's going to do it from Davie. I'm Kim Bocamp. We'll have a lot more coming up at 6.
Okay, can't wait for that. Well, from football season to the hurricane season, CBS 4 wants to make sure you are ready for hurricane season. So we've set up a phone bank to answer your questions. Rob Hanrahan is there right now. And Rob, what should people do?
Well, as you know, Elliot, it's time to be prepared. We all like football season more than hurricane season, that's for sure. But now's the time. Actually, we should have been doing this for the last week or so, but to make sure you have all your supplies lined up, your fresh water, everything that you're going to need in your house should you lose power. But today we've got the Neighbors from Neighbors phone bank set up to answer some questions. We got specialists here right now who can answer your questions about special needs. You might have questions about there's a registry that you can call the city and register if you have special needs in the event of an evacuation or a hurricane. Other things you might have questions about, like what should you take with you? How are you going to be transported? A lot of people with special needs don't know how they're going to get to a shelter or get out of their houses, and so it's important for them to know these things ahead of time. Who should go to a hospital as opposed to a special needs shelter? All of these questions can be answered by the experts in the Neighbors for Neighbors phone bank, and I'm glad to see here that the phones have started to ring. Almost every phone in use right now, but we'll get to every single call, and we can answer any calls that you have about preparing for hurricane season. It does not have to be just the special needs groups, but we'll be back with more to tell you how it's going. The number for Neighbors, 305-597-4404. The time is now to be prepared for hurricane season. Beatrice, Elliott, back to you.
You're so right, Rob. You know, hopefully people will call now because you don't want to panic at the last minute. Now's the time to be prepared.
And with Tropical Storm Barry, I think a lot of us got a little wake-up call.
It was a wake-up
right?
call, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep. Well, still to come tonight, OnStar is known for helping people. So why is it going to be hanging up on customers soon? Consumer investigator Al Sunshine is taking a closer look at the problem with these safety systems.
Couches, cribs, and so much more. 7 families affected by Hurricane Wilma are finally getting a helping hand.
David Bernard in Weather Control, real-time Doppler 4, working overtime this afternoon. Boy, it is stormy in the Keys. I'll update you on radar, let you know how much more rain is falling tonight and what you can expect for the rest of the week.
And Bob Barker says a final farewell to The Price is Right. We're going to take you live to Los Angeles for more on his last show. That is straight ahead.
Next, E.T. George and Oprah on the cover of Vanity Fair. Your first look at the making of the historic Africa issue with Brad, Madonna, Bono. Then Bobby Kennedy's assassination. Lost footage. Next, E.T.
Tonight at 7 on 4.
What does it take to bring you the most accurate local forecast? It takes an experienced team that really knows South Florida.
CBS 4 Weather.
Accurate, dependable. CBS 4 Weather, you can count on it.
Still working on that?
No, I'm done. I was wondering, if we just
Could have had a V8. 100% vegetable juice with 3 of your daily vegetable servings in every little bottle.
The Miccosukee Tribe of Indians invites you to the Miccosukee Indian Village. Experience Miccosukee culture, history, and tradition at the museum. The Miccosukee Indian Village, your gateway to the Everglades.
We've been thinking about early retirement.
My dad said we should check out the old country. I'm not sure this is the old country Dad was talking about.
Find your perfect place at Remax.com. Whether you're looking for something close by or far away, Remax.com gives you more home listings to choose from than ever. Nobody sells more real estate than Remax.
Hi, I'm Cindy Crawford. I'd like to invite you to see my new leather collection here at Rooms to Go. I want you to have the chance to feel the difference in our top-grade premium leathers. They're luxurious, comfortable, and soft to the touch. All at a price you'll love.
The new 2007 Cindy Crawford Leather Collection, now at Rooms to Go.
I can't wait to be part of your home.
If you are a postmenopausal woman between the ages of 40 and 70, please listen carefully to the following message. Are you experiencing loss of pleasure, poor concentration, low energy, appetite changes, or low sex drive? You may be eligible to participate in a clinical research study being conducted in our area to evaluate an investigational medication for the treatment of depression. Qualified participants will receive all study-related care and study medication at no cost and may receive compensation for their time. Call 1-866-61-STUDY.
Come on down for the last time. It is an end of an era of our favorite game show, The Price is Right.
And have your pet spayed or neutered for the last time. Today was Bob Barker's last day after hosting the show for 35 years. CBS 4's Manuel Gallegos joins us live from Los Angeles with more on the TV legend's final show. What was it like in that studio, Manuel?
Well, Elliot and Beatrice, this is kind of a bittersweet day for CBS because Bob Barker has fans like a rock star, and they come from all over the country, as they do all the time, to be here. But this time it was for his last day, and unfortunately not everybody was able to get in.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the final Price is Right, starring Bob Barker.
The competition intense.
I need everybody to take out your IDs, please.
With only 325 seats in the audience, getting a spot took dedication.
We got here at about 1 o'clock in the morning on Monday night.
The first in line hit the jackpot, a ticket to the show. And the chance to see the end of an era. A hit from day one, fans say seeing the legendary host say goodbye is more than worth the wait.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I'm ready to jump out of my skin. This is a big day. It's like I've waited my whole life for this moment.
The Price is Right is TV's longest running game show, and at 83, Bob Barker holds the record as the oldest daytime host. Twins Charlene and Arlene have been fans for the duration and came all the way from Mississippi to celebrate their 70th birthday, Barker style.
Our husband gave us this trip for our birthday.
And we hope that you've enjoyed your visit to The Price is Right.
There's just something about the money man that makes him irresistible.
What did you say?
I said I want to kiss you.
My dear, that can be a... Oh, wow!
Young, come on down! And his send-off promises to be no less enthusiastic than the day he went on the air 35 years ago. Now, they turned away well over 100 people today. Everybody else got inside, and the taping is just starting now, so people are thrilled, and no word yet on who his replacement is going to be. So far, a good, well-kept secret by CBS. That's the latest live in Los Angeles. I'm Manuel Gallegos, CBS 4 News.
Thanks, Manuel. Well, they're going to have to pick somebody pretty soon. For more on Bob Barker's final farewell, including a behind-the-scenes slideshow, just go to our website, cbs4.com.
Do you have something you want to tell us? Are you going to be saying, come on down?
What a great job that would be, wouldn't it?
Don't even think about it.
Okay,
you stay right there.
All right.
How about the weather? That's a good job, but not on a day like today. Too much
Gray and rainy. That's right. Not a beach day or anything. Not a good day to drive or do anything outside for that matter.
Watch the news. forecast.
Yeah, I guess so. Let's go right to real-time Doppler 4. Now, things have settled down a little bit for the rush, so that's some good news. We don't have any heavy rain right now in Broward or Miami-Dade. Just some light rain showing up. The heaviest rain is up in West Palm Beach. If we go out just a little bit further into the Keys, that's where the heaviest storms are right now, running from Marathon and back just to the north and east of Key West. This big blob is moving from the southwest to the northeast, so in the lower Keys, at least for now, there might be a little bit of improvement. However, there's more rain right behind that, so it looks like continuous rain for the Keys for the remainder of the evening hours, and we'll have to watch this big massive rain in the southeast Gulf that's now moving inland to the Everglades on the southwest coast. I think some of that will get into the metro area later on this evening. Here's how it looks outside right now. We have rain in parts of the area. Temperatures are in the 70s. Did it feel muggy today? You bet. The stickiness scale is a 6. That's fairly sticky. The humidity 89%. Light east winds here at Weather Control. 21/100ths of an inch was our rain total so far. Here's some more rain totals. Over 2 3/4 at West End, just over an inch at Coconut Creek, Pompano Beach, shy of an inch, just over an inch at Oakland Park. And then the heaviest rains are right on the Dade-Broward line. You can see from Medley to El Portal. That's one of the heaviest numbers I saw today, 3.68. North Miami Beach, just over 2. Notice Central Dade, it really starting to lighten up along the Dolphin. And then South Dade, not much rain at all. And finally in the Keys, Marathon under an inch, about 3/4, and just over an inch so far in Key West, but it does look like more is on the way. So did it help out the drought at Lake Okeechobee? Not really today, because notice that all the rain was falling south of the lake today down here in South Florida. But our lake level at least has steadied out for the last several days after hitting our record low last week, 8.97 feet today, so it's basically remained steady, but still well below that normal level. So today the headline was muggy. We had plenty of downpours, and for tomorrow, I think it's going to stay stormy. It looks like that disturbance that's over the southeast Gulf is going to start to move out to the east, but it's still going to leave quite a bit of moisture around, and so storms are going to build, and I think some downpours are a good bet again for tomorrow. And then as we go into Friday, still some storms, but a little bit more sun. And for the weekend on Saturday, just a spotty storm. Each day we're going to dry out a little bit more, so we'll say sun and clouds, spotty storm Saturday. And then on Sunday, it looks like most of the storms are going to be inland, so it looks like plenty of warm sun around, and it should be mostly dry. Here's your forecast then for tonight. We'll call for a rainy night, some storms. They could be heavy in spots, the low 74 degrees. Tomorrow, 86, limited sun, storms build again, and again, downpours are going to be a threat. On the water, east winds 10 to 15, seas 2 to 4, and the bays will see a moderate chop. Here's the outlook going into the weekend. 86 tomorrow, 87 storms around Friday, again, spotty storms Saturday, and of course, with fewer storms and more sun, we're going to start to warm up back to near 90 by the time we get to Sunday. Remember, you can always go to CBS4.com for the very latest weather information, and of course real-time Doppler 4 is there 24 hours a day.
All right, thank you, David.
Okay. Thanks, David. Well, he's a South Florida teenager who's not only beating the competition, he's also beating the odds, how he defied doctors and really won big.
And a live look for you at our Hurricane Phone Bank, where the experts are standing by today to answer all of your questions. All you have to do is pick up the phone and dial 305-597-4404. Don't wait till the last minute. You should be preparing. We'll be right back right after this. Stay with us.
New at 6, a Miami-Dade principal arrested for a sex scandal involving a star football player. CBS 4 has the list of charges just filed. Plus, Alonzo Mourning's plan to fight childhood obesity. New at 6.
I used to think the only bad thing about getting my mail was getting the bills. Turns out someone else getting my bills was worse.
With Wachovia, dedicated fraud specialists will work with you one-on-one to reclaim your identity, recoup your losses, and reestablish your financial reputation.
Thankfully, there are people who care about my name as much as I do. I'm with Wachovia.
We're absolutely obsessed with satisfying our customers. Wachovia.
Honey, I was gonna wait until you got home, but I can't.
What is it?
We're pregnant! Honey? Oh, you're speechless, right?
Wow. Way to step up there, Rick.
Singular's name is now AT&T. Now get half off the latest Samsung phones like the Sync for $24.99.
Sometimes life can be, well, a little uncomfortable. But when it's hard or hurts to go to the bathroom, there's Dulcolax Stool Softener. Dulcolax Stool Softener doesn't make you go, it just makes it easier to go. Dulcolax Stool Softener. Make yourself comfortable.
Heartburn?
Painful.
Zantac.
Okay.
Zantac quickly relieves heartburn.
Better? Completely.
Zantac's fast. Heartburn?
Yeah.
Prescription.
Slow.
The leading prescription can take a day or more to fully work.
Zantac.
Better. Zantac's fast. For heartburn, Zantac's fast.
If you want it, come and get it. The Oz got it. Fun, yeah. If you play it, come and get it. The Oz got it. Fun, whoa. If you love it, come and get it. The Oz got it. Fun, yeah. Wanna win it? Come and get it. The Oz got it. Fun, yeah. If you want it, come and get it. The Oz got it. Fun, yeah. If you play it, come and get it. The Oz got it. Fun, yeah.
There are trillions of allergens circulating throughout the average American home. But now, Train introduces the first central air system that removes up to 99.98% of the allergens from all the air that it heats or cools. Train Clean Effects. Isn't it time you expected more from your system?
Get a mail-in rebate up to $1,200, plus 6 months same-as-cash financing with the purchase of a qualifying Train comfort system. Call 1-800-NEW-COOL.
It's hard to stop a train.
Closed captioning provided by City Furniture. Now offering same-day delivery, 7 days a week.
Doctor said he would never walk or talk, but now a Homestead teenager is running and competing thanks to the Special Olympics.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And as CBS 4's Jawan Strader reports, his story will not only inspire you, it will also give you a lot of hope.
He's 17 years old and already he's overcome enormous obstacles in his life. He was born premature, his twin died at birth, and doctors say he'll never walk. But let me tell you, this Homestead teenager you're about to meet is living proof that hard work pays off.
I feel good.
Looking at Eric Hightower, he looks like any other athlete, but Eric is a special athlete.
He couldn't walk at all. And he would always want to do other things regular kids do.
When Eric was born, his mother, LaShawn, was told her son would never walk, that he would be confined to a wheelchair for his entire life. Well, that lasted for just 5 years.
When they told me that he wasn't going to be able to walk at all, he showed me that he was going to make it. He was going to intentionally make himself walk, and that's what he did.
Eric defied the odds.
Come on, Eric!
Not only did he walk, now he runs, competes, and wins medals with the Special Olympics.
Good job, good job. A little bit more. Nice.
Eric is proud of his accomplishments. Look at Eric here running track in the state games. He competed in track and basketball. Number 25, the shy teenager says very little, but what he does say will inspire you. You see, doctors also said he would never talk.
But especially to do a lot for me.
He's not like one of the regular kids that we have, that he's determined to make it to the top. And he always said, Miss Betty, I give it all my all. I said, well, son, when you do the best you can, that's the best you can do.
For Eric, it's not about winning, it's about finishing. Just look at the smile when he crossed the finish line and listen to the pride in his mother's voice.
I was so proud when the teacher called and told me that he did it. I couldn't do nothing but give him a big hug and told him how proud I was of him.
Special Olympics is good for me. It helped my health.
So even though he may not be the fastest, his stride may not be the best, it doesn't matter. Eric Hightower has proven he's a champion. Eric and his coach were named Inspirational Athlete and Coach of the Year for the Special Olympics Miami-Dade. Now Thursday, they will be honored at the 3rd Inspired Greatness event benefiting the Special Olympics at the Biltmore in Coral Gables. Jawan Strader, CBS 4 News.
Wow.
Way to go, Eric.
You know,
and he proved the doctors wrong.
Puts life in perspective, doesn't it?
For
When you
all
look
of
at your
us.
problems, and he's a champion with so many obstacles. Way
He
to
will
go.
be an inspiration to many.
Yep.
Well, millions of drivers rely on OnStar to keep them safe. So why is the service hanging up on customers now? You're going to see what CBS 4 consumer investigator Al Sunshine uncovered for us.
This beautiful oceanside hotel will soon be demolished. So what do you do with all the valuable stuff inside? I'm Art Barron. I'll tell you, coming up next.
And they say you are what you eat, but isn't it really you are what you weigh? What a new study uncovered about your birth weight and your success or lack thereof in life.
Harrison's Jailhouse Diaries, Day 3. Then,
Oh my God.
the smallest pregnant woman's surprise proposal.
Would you marry me?
And who's this star without makeup? Next Insider.
Tonight at 7:30 on 4.
I'm not buying you. I'm rewarding you.
How much is at stake is unknown.
You drove me insane.
The captain's already power crazy.
Crew's got no food.
Will the other pirates mutiny?
It's time for him to leave. The only thing that I want is the loot.
The adventure is just beginning.
Who's going in? Some people just aren't cut out to be a pirate.
Pirate Master, new episode CBS Thursday.
Why do people save their money for a rainy day? Why don't they use all the vacation days they're given? Don't people realize that you can't get back the time you have with your kids when they're young? If you want to know when the best time is to take a vacation with your children, look out the window right now, because it's raining. Get your free beaches of Fort Myers Sanibel Visitor's Guide.
Mosquitoes? Don't soak yourself with a sticky wet repellent. Stay dry with new Off Smooth and Dry. Its unique cornstarch formula dries on contact, so it's comfortable on your skin, unlike ordinary repellents. Feel the difference.
Wow.
With new Off Family Care Smooth and Dry. Feels good on, keeps bugs off. S.C. Johnson, a family company.
All right, folks, place your bets. What do you have to lose when you can't control your gambling? Everything. When gambling becomes a problem, call 888-ADMIT-IT.
Get a jump on your summer vacation by buying a used RV this Thursday through Sunday at the Spring RV Show at Gulfstream Park Racing and Casino. It's a huge spring cleaning of motorhomes with names like Monaco, Fleetwood, Winnebago, Allegro, and many more. Plus, you'll save thousands on finance charges with 4.99% financing with only the tax and license down. Smart RV buyers know you save thousands by buying used, and with 4.99% financing, you'll make it a clean sweep. It's the Spring RV Show this weekend at Gulfstream Park Racing and Casino, just north of Miami on US 1.
Here's what's on CBS 4 tonight, brought to you by Publix and Southeast Toyota.
Think you can wait till the last minute to get a generator? Think again.
Because now Personalized Power Systems and Carrier introduce the affordable home generator, starting at only $299 per month. And your payments don't start until your generator does.
The folks at Personalized Power Systems service and install more generators than anyone else in Florida. It's a one-time investment that helps build home equity. Protect your lifestyle, your home, your family. Personalized Power Systems makes it easy.
Call Personalized Power Systems today.
Tri-Rail gets you where you want to go.
Now with 2 tracks, Tri-Rail has more trains more often with 20 or 30-minute service during rush hour. So stop paying high gas prices and get on board today.
We have an accident alert to tell you about right now. These are live pictures from Chopper 4 that are coming in. We apologize for the fuzziness of those pictures, but again, this is an accident with injuries on I-95 on the northbound side just before Hollywood Boulevard. We're told again that there are injuries, and right now all northbound lanes are closed while fire rescue crews are on the scene. Our traffic is moving on the southbound side, as you can see, but the northbound side extremely backed up at this hour in Hollywood.
Well, Elliot, no idea if the rain had anything to do with that accident, but it has definitely been an umbrella day in South Florida. Some strong storms dumped inches of rain on parts of the area. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist David Bernard for more. David.
Beatrice, good news, at least at this hour, that the heaviest of the storms have moved out of the metro area, but we still have very heavy rains over the middle and lower Keys, and this swath of rain goes well out into the Gulf of Mexico, so it is conceivable that the rain could keep up for a good part of the evening hours. Notice that most of Dade, just a few sprinkles around right now, and then a more light rain over Broward County. It's more widespread, but we don't see any heavy activity. And again, down in the Keys, as I was mentioning, here's a close-up look. Isla Mirada, some light rain there to Key Largo, but it's heaviest from Marathon and back to Key West. All right, let's take a look at the big picture, and you can see we had this upper-level disturbance coming from the Gulf of Mexico. Going back to yesterday evening, wow, we just had a few showers around. It wasn't a big deal, but watch what happens this morning. Here comes the upper low out of the Gulf, and the storms just explode over the entire area. Just about everybody saw rain today, except South Dade. It was particularly light there, but that rain extends all the way up into central Florida and over into the northern Bahamas as well. And I think it's going to be sticking around for a little bit longer. I'll show you why in just a moment. How about rain totals so far today? Notice that we had decent amounts in Broward and North Dade, and then they just keep trickling off. The further south you get, the rain amounts got very light. In fact, West Kendall officially at the airport there, no rain today. Opelika, one of the heavier amounts at 1.22 inches. So why all the rain? Yesterday we had an area of low pressure move off the Texas coastline. That started feeding tropical moisture our way. Today the upper low is right to the west of us, and that puts us in a very favorable spot for rainfall. But tomorrow the low moves off to the east, and you would think the rain chances would end. I don't think so. Some moisture is going to be lingering behind, so I think there's a good chance of storms lingering tomorrow. I'll let you know how heavy it could get and what it all means for the weekend in a few minutes.
Thank you, David. A hearing in a Miami courtroom just wrapped up that could have a big impact in the case of Michael Hernandez. It'll determine if a jury will hear his confession in which he admitted to killing his middle school classmate. CBS 4's Michelle Gillen joins us live right now. And Michelle, I know this confession is a big part of the prosecution's case.
Very big indeed, and tonight that's why we enter the chilling life and mind of Michael Hernandez, a defense witness today claiming he is mentally ill and that his confession should be thrown out.
Certainly very clear to me that Michael had a very severe mental disorder that had been getting increasingly severe over the months leading up to the incident.
That incident being the repeated fatal stabbing of Michael Hernandez's best friend in a school bathroom 4 years ago, allegedly at the hands of a 14-year-old whose behavior reportedly was increasingly bizarre.
But Michael had, in the months leading up to the offense, apparently developed a tremendous number of really, frankly, bizarre behaviors. He created an incredibly rigid schedule down to the number of grapes he would have for his afternoon snack and how he would chew one on one side and then on the other. The time that his alarm clock was set for and how long he could spend in the shower.
The question today, does the now 17-year-old Hernandez even grasp the magnitude of the charges he's faced with and a potential future behind bars?
Until recently, he's still maintained, and I suspect he still believes that he's going to go home fairly soon. He still doesn't seem to get the circumstances that he's in.
And according to defense testimony, Hernandez punished himself when he didn't follow that rigid set of rules, ultimately cutting himself. Michelle Gillen, CBS 4 News, back to you.
All right, thank you, Michelle. It has been nearly 2 years, but some Hurricane Wilma victims are still struggling to get back on their feet. Today, they're getting some help, all thanks to some local volunteers. CBS 4's Art Barron shows us how.
This Fort Lauderdale hotel is going to be demolished. That means some 3,500 items here are being donated to needy families who were forced out of their homes during Wilma. The Ireland's Inn Beach Resort that took a beating during Wilma will be leveled, and the new hotel will emerge as depicted in this artist's drawing. So the owners, Kathy and Andy Mitchell, are donating everything inside to other victims who lost just about everything to Hurricane Wilma.
I think it's great because a lot of people need things, and lamps and beds are one of the main things.
Ariel Stone is thankful that he'll be able to return home with some much-needed furnishings. He and others spent the rainy afternoon hauling these items home.
I think we're just going to take a microwave and a TV for the house, but, just helping out, volunteering here, try to give it back a little.
Trying to get settled, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Now, just to show you some of the items that they're donating, let's walk in here, shall we? Come on. All right, look at this. Okay, these chairs, this armoire right here, this is a nice looking armoire. You put your TV set in there. Check out all these lamps. How about these restaurant items? Everything from toasters, escargot dishes, to glassware.
Everything around the pool is going?
The pool itself, no.
No, the pool itself is not going. Pool stays in place, water stays in place.
Suzanne Weiss of the Fort Lauderdale Community Development Corporation found out about the owners donating to the needy and nonprofit groups, and she got the ball rolling. Now more than 30 families are benefiting.
They didn't want these perfectly good usable items to go to waste or be thrown away. They also want anything that is usable to be used within the community.
You're finally starting to settle down now.
Yeah, so glad.
Right.
So glad.
Many of these families haven't had a permanent place to settle down into in the past 2 years. Now, at least they're going to be happy to know that they'll be able to return home with some furniture. It's the very latest out here at Fort Lauderdale. Art Barron, CBS 4 News.
Art, thank you. If you have questions about hurricane season, all you need to do is call Neighbors for Neighbors. We've set up a phone bank right now that's up and running. Rob Hanrahan is there. And Rob, I know you're a big boater. You know more than anybody how important it is to have a plan in place early.
You gotta have the plans in place early, and you might have questions. Every hurricane that I've covered here, the questions come streaming in. As soon as we go under a hurricane watch or warning, when do I go to a shelter? When do I put my shutters up? All sorts of different questions come in. They're especially critical for people with special needs, though. Maybe a person who's hearing or sight impaired, a person who's dependent electronically. That can mean you need a medical monitor of some type or electronic distribution of medication. Well, we've got people here today who can answer all your questions about special needs. We can also answer any other hurricane preparedness questions that you might have. So we want you to call Neighbors for Neighbors at 305-597-4404. And if I could just add a personal note here, so many people use generators when the power goes out. If you have one, please go out and get a carbon monoxide alarm. It could save your life, the life of your family. If you live in an apartment, it could save everyone in that building. So if there are going to be generators used, get a CO alarm. Beatrice, Elliot, back to you.
All right, good advice. Thank you, Rob. The honeymoon may be over, but after 5 months in office, Governor Charlie Crist is still widely popular with Florida voters. In a survey taken by Quinnipiac University, 70% of voters statewide and 71% in Southeast Florida say they are happy with how Crist is handling his job. 61% of those polled say that Crist makes decisions based on what he feels is right instead of catering to political parties. And what's even more impressive, Floridians think Crist is 3 times more a man of principle than the typical politician.
Pretty good for our governor. It's a safety feature more than 5 million car owners swear by. It's called OnStar. It's a cell phone-based service that can remotely unlock your car. If there's an accident, it could save your life. But as our consumer investigator Al Sunshine found out, 500,000 customers are about to lose OnStar. Here's Al to explain why. Al?
Hey, Elliot, you know, it's a problem for cell phone owners all over the country. Older analog phones becoming obsolete as cell phone companies turn all digital. And it's hitting America's biggest car maker hard.
OnStar emergency.
Help us! We are completely submerged in water.
OnStar, GM's popular hands-free phone system, it's marketed as a convenient safety feature.
This is the intersection right here.
It recently came in handy when a red light runner hit Terry Miller.
I spun around. It felt like twice, and I hit my OnStar button right away.
And just like the commercial, OnStar helped Terry call police.
She stayed on the line with me and just reassured me and talked to me and calmed me down.
And that's why Terry and her family don't ever want to be without OnStar. So when they recently got this letter from GM, it was not good news.
Our OnStar will no longer be available on our 2001 vehicle.
So what's going on? Well, remember, most phones today are digital phones. But remember those old analog systems? Well, it turns out that OnStar is still based on the older analog technology. And while some of the newer systems can be converted, it turns out that many of the older OnStar systems, going back to 2002 all the way up to 2005, either can't be converted or won't be converted. And that means some 500,000 OnStar customers will be stuck out in the cold. OnStar spokesman Bill Ball says they don't have a choice.
It's something we would like not to do, but we are where we are, and that we just don't at this point have an alternative.
He says GM just couldn't find a way to change older OnStar systems from analog to digital.
Our concern with offering an upgrade package and developing one is that we just haven't seen a path to get us a system that is, from our perspective, suitably reliable. in the older vehicles.
But automotive writer Philip Reed of the website Edmunds.com remains skeptical.
Can they use this as an opportunity to sell more new cars? Or how much will it cost to retrofit the cars?
Turns out GM kept installing analog-only systems on some vehicles all the way through 2005, even though it should have known in 2002 its provider, Verizon, would stop providing older analog service next year.
Absolutely, they'd known it was coming.
Meet Chris No of Yahoo Tech.
You would have to be completely oblivious not to know it's coming.
GM insists it couldn't make the change because its vehicles have different electrical systems, but some critics say GM's position still doesn't answer all their questions.
They knew that the cars they put out would not be able to be retrofitted, and they never told anybody that. I don't think that's right. It's not right at all.
Now, GM says the cost for customers to retrofit newer OnStar systems is only going to be about $15, and it's offering a free year of OnStar service to owners of older vehicles if they buy new GM products. OnStar also provides service for other car makers, including Saab, Acura, and Isuzu. Hey, just dial up our CBS4.com website for a link to OnStar. You could check out for yourself to see if your vehicle will be affected. I'm Al Sunshine, CBS 4 News.
It's a shame because it's really helpful.
Sure, a lot of people use it.
Well, local police are searching for a missing tourist tonight. Coming up, where this woman was last seen and how you can help track her down. It's all coming up new at 6 o'clock.
But first, a new documentary set to air tonight, Under Fire, for pictures of Princess Diana's last moments. Will it air as planned?
I'm David Bernard at Weather Control. Boy, has it been a wet Wednesday, but is it going to stick around for Thursday and the weekend? I'll show you that and have an update on real-time Doppler 4.
Well, David, how much did you weigh when you were born? The question tonight, does how much you weigh when you're born determine how far you're going to go in life? You're going to wait until you hear what a new study found coming up.
He was a heavyweight, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
A strong marketing program attracts buyers to your home. Buy Owner offers the most exposure available. In short, Buy Owner can help you find buyers and handle the details. You show it and save money. The time to call is now.
Thanks, Buy Owner.
New at 6, a Miami-Dade principal arrested for a sex scandal involving a star football player. CBS 4 has the list of charges just filed. Plus, Alonzo Mourning's plan to fight childhood obesity. New at 6.
Some of us need help falling asleep. Even more of us need help staying asleep. But a good night's sleep doesn't have to be an on-off thing anymore. Only Ambien CR has 2 layers to help you with both problems. The first dissolves quickly to help you fall asleep fast. Plus, unlike other sleep aids, there's a second layer. It dissolves slowly to help you stay asleep. Ambien CR is a treatment option you and your prescriber can consider along with lifestyle changes and can be taken for as long as your prescriber recommends. Until you know how Ambien CR will affect you, you shouldn't drive or operate machinery. Be sure you're able to devote 7 to 8 hours to sleep before being active again. Somnambulism with amnesia for the event and rare cases of severe allergic reactions have been reported. If you experience these events, contact your prescriber immediately. Side effects may include next-day drowsiness, dizziness, and headache. It's non-narcotic. However, like most sleep aids, it has some risk of dependency. Don't take it with alcohol. Ask your prescriber about Ambien CR. Remember, CR for a good night's sleep from start to finish.
Bad news for cable. Now there's free TV from AT&T. Call today and find out how to get up to 6 months of digital TV free when you bundle new services with AT&T, the most complete provider for the way you live. Bell South is now the new AT&T. Your world delivered.
Tuesday, Seminole Hard Rock Casino. The boys are back. They know what they're here for. How to play the game. And don't plan on leaving empty-handed. These are the boys from South Florida. This is their casino. And the game is on.
It's the 14th annual South Florida Boat Show, June 8th through the 11th at the Miami Beach Convention Center. 50 dealers, 350 new boats. Save thousands at the largest summer boat show in the Southeast. 4 big days of savings. June 8th to 11th at the Miami Beach Convention Center.
If you've never tasted Papa John's Smokehouse Bacon and Ham Pizza, you've never tasted the rich, authentic flavor of our hickory smoked bacon and ham. Fresh sliced green peppers and onions. And our fresh hand-tossed dough. If you never tasted Papa John's better ingredients, taste the difference quality makes. Taste our new Smokehouse Bacon and Ham Pizza for $11.99. Call or click papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
If you want to save money, call Buy Owner. I did, and it worked for me. Look, I had friends that had their homes with agents for a year and nothing. I sold in a few months and saved over $19,000. Thanks, Buy Owner.
Thanks, Buy Owner.
Police searching for a missing Kansas teen have reportedly found a body in the area where the girl disappeared, and one television station is reporting tonight it could be the body of Kelsey Smith. The 18-year-old has been missing since late Saturday night when she was apparently abducted from the parking lot of a Target store in suburban Kansas City. Surveillance video shows her walking out of that store and then appears to show her being shoved inside a car. Police were searching the area where they traced signals from her cell phone where the body was found.
Tonight, investigators are warning about a new take on an old scam. Internet websites are posting ads for purebred puppies for a cheap price. The catch? The puppies are in Africa, and you have to pay to get them shipped here to the U.S. Of course, once the money is sent, the puppies never are, and since the scam is based out in Africa, there's really little police can do about it. The American Kennel Club says it is best to meet with a breeder when you're buying purebred, and remember, if it sounds too good to be true, chances are it is.
Isn't that always the case?
Yes,
well,
it is.
Bring your puppies in tonight because we're going to get more rain, right, David?
It looks that way. Things have lightened up a bit now, but it could get heavy again later tonight, especially toward morning. So let's look at our night planner and let you know what to expect for the evening hours. It is going to be muggy, and there could be a couple of showers around as well, 77, and showers around through the overnight period, maybe a clap of thunder, 74 degrees, and then storms rebuild tomorrow morning with a temperature around 78. Here's real-time Doppler 4 right now. Again, out Alligator Alley, some moderate rain, but most of Metro Broward just seeing light rain right now, and some light rain in Miami-Dade. Notice that over toward the Everglades, there's some more rain that's coming in from the west. None of that is near as heavy as the activity early this morning. Nevertheless, it's going to make for a pretty dreary evening. The heaviest rain by far is in the Keys. Look at the middle and lower Keys. Key West, you've been getting rain off and on all day long. Same with Marathon, and all of this is moving up in our direction. Now, the question is, will all this rain that's still out in the southeast Gulf of Mexico maintain itself as it moves over mainland South Florida? Well, I think with the loss of daytime heating and as the rain approaches the land, a lot of this is going to weaken out some, but there's enough energy around that I think a storm or showers are likely through the nighttime hours. So far today, nearly an inch at Fort Lauderdale, 1.27 at Key West, just under a quarter of an inch here at Weather Control, and just over a third of an inch in Miami. High temperatures, despite all the rain and clouds, still made it to 85, 82 degrees at Key West. Here are some more rain totals for you. We had over an inch at Coconut Creek, 2.74 at Weston. You can see Pompano at 0.89, Oakland Park just over an inch, and then one of the heaviest numbers, El Portal, 3.68, Medley, a pretty heavy number there. And notice Central Dade, it really starting to lighten up around the airport and back to CBS 4 in Doral, and then no rain at West Kendall and just light amounts, it looks like, at Homestead. Here are the Keys rain totals for today, 1.12 at Key West and 0.71 at Marathon. Well, yesterday at this time, we had this upper level low off the Texas coast, and that was moving from west to east, and now it's over us, and as you can see, it brought plenty of moisture with it, and as a result, we have had a very rainy day. There was the low yesterday. There it is today with the tropical moisture right over us. Now, it's going to move east tomorrow, but I still think some moisture is going to be lingering behind, and that's going to leave a very good chance for rain. So here's what it looks like tomorrow. Plenty of clouds, storms build, and just like today, there could be some downpours. Here's your forecast for tonight. A rainy night, not at all times, but periodically, maybe even a clap of thunder later tonight. Could be heavy in a couple of spots, 74 for the low. Tomorrow, 86. Limited sun, but there'll be some peeking out here and there. Storms build again with a few downpours around. Mold today was reported as moderate. The pollen was high. Here's your outlook going into the weekend. Gets a little bit better each day. 87 on Friday. Spotty storms Saturday, and of course, fewer storms, more sun, and that means warmer weather. It'll be back to around 90 degrees on Sunday, with mainly just sun and clouds. Remember to go to CBS4.com. The weather is always on.
We are always on.
There
Did
you
you
go.
grow overnight?
I know. Am I a little elevated
You're a
here?
giant. You are a giant.
I got a pain in my neck just looking over to you. All right, thank you, David.
He's never a pain
That
in
is
the
a double
neck.
meaning, doesn't it?
Never, no, of
Thank you,
course
David.
not.
And don't
Never.
forget, if anybody out there has questions about hurricane season, just call the Neighbors for Neighbors phone bank. As you can see, operators are busy right now waiting to take your calls. They're actually getting some calls at this hour. The number is 305-597-4404. It'll be open until 6:30.
Well, as the 10th anniversary of Princess Diana's death approaches, a new documentary about her final moments on Earth has her sons tonight making a rare public plea. Princes William and Harry are begging British documentary makers to take out some graphic images of their mother's final day. The princes haven't seen the program yet, but they claim some of the photos in it are inappropriate and distressing, they say.
It is their mother's last moments on Earth, and it's an invasion of her privacy, and it's chipping away what little dignity there is in a death of that sort.
Now, all of the photos in the documentary have already been published, and the British channel that produced the film says they will not back down. Dozens of other documentaries are in the works to commemorate the 10th year anniversary.
South Florida principal is hauled off in handcuffs. Coming up, his alleged role in a high school sex scandal.
Also, fanning out what state officials are doing now to make sure that we don't see those long gas lines like we did after Hurricane Wilma ever again.
And a South Florida nursery dedicated to helping the mentally challenged could be forced to close its doors. Find out why and how you can help.
But first, does how much you weigh when you're born measure your success later in life? We're going to tell you what a new study found coming up next.
Ooh, about 7 pounds for me, I think.
Anna's does it again. We've made an incredible buy on Veritex, the top brand at fine department stores. These window coverings sell for $50 elsewhere. At Anna's, they're just $9.99. So hurry while supplies last. Only at Anna's.
Anna's. He's an expert at staying alive no matter what. Then, smashed by an 18-foot monster avalanche, trapped in a fiery plane crash, and an extreme rescue captured on tape. Next Oprah.
Tomorrow at 4 on 4. Because Geico sounds like gecko. That's it. That's the only reason I'm here. The fact is, if Geico sounded like some other animal, like, I don't know, a puma, sure enough, there'd be some adorable little cat sitting here talking about Geico's low rates.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
You can't even imagine the pressure. I mean, I've literally got like 2 seconds to capture your attention while simultaneously informing you that you could save hundreds on car insurance by switching to Geico. Quite frankly, I don't think it's even possible.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Dan, Ugla!
We missed you guys last night. You weren't in your seats behind third base.
Had to clean my room.
Sad. Kid needs to be at the game. You can be there tomorrow night, right? Cool. And kid, clean your room before the game.
You gotta be here for Fish Friday, June 8th, as your Marlins battle the Devil Rays. Grab a 4 for $54 pack. It's Mardi Gras night. Fans can win an autographed Rawlings 1997 Championship Baseball. Plus, enjoy Fiesta Latina and the 10th inning party at the Strike Zone. Call 1-877-MARLINS.
Marlins baseball, you've gotta be here.
Here's what's on CBS 4 tonight. Brought to you in HD TV by BrandSmart USA and Lincoln.
Toyota's 50th anniversary celebration is on now with the biggest Toyota selection in history. Check out the fuel-efficient Prius or the stylish Camry. While you're here, discover the Corolla with an impressive 41 miles per gallon highway rating. Or check out the Camry, Motor Trend's 2007 Car of the Year. Lease the 2007 Camry LE for $239 a month for 48 months with $239 due at signing. It's Toyota's 50th anniversary, but with great deals, you're the one getting the gifts.
Right here in Florida, you can feed your passion for a palm-fringed green, a river of grass, and an emerald sea. You can journey through time and through a timeless place. Make a splash or catch a wave. Float away or dance the night away. It's your backyard. Go out and play.
Anna's does it again. We've made an incredible buy on Veritex, the top brand at fine department stores. These shower curtains sell for $30 to $50 elsewhere. At Anna's, they're just $9.99. So hurry while supplies last. Only at Anna's.
Anna's.
CBS 4 Weather is brought to you by Miccosukee Tribe of Indians of Florida.
All right, get out your birth certificate, look up your birth weight. A new study finds your weight may have something to do with success, but not the weight you have now, the weight you were when you were born. CBS 4 health specialist Dr. Sean Caniff is here to explain this. Doctor?
Thanks, Elliot. It's not a surprise, but low birth weight babies face many immediate challenges. But a new study suggests those small babies may develop problems as adults with troubled health and troubled finances. But big babies might have even bigger problems.
Olivia Sutton is 4 years old. She's beautiful and brainy, but she was also a low birth weight baby, born prematurely.
Olivia was 28 weeks when she was born, 2.5 pounds.
Thanks to modern medicine, preemies are no longer medical miracles.
But new studies suggest the exact weight of a baby at birth may be a strong predictor of school performance, annual income as an adult, cancer risk, and overall health even decades later.
A new report studied 35 years of data and found babies weighing less than 5.5 pounds were 33% more likely to drop out of high school, made 15% less income as adults, and had the health level of someone who was 12 years older. That's not a surprise to Dr. Richard Auerbach, Chief of Staff at Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital.
Low birth weight babies do have problems later in life.
But other studies have found as adults, heavy babies may also pay a heavy price. Heavy babies are more likely to become overweight or obese adults, and one study found it increased the risk of adult cancers.
I guess one of the theories is that fatter babies have more cells that can become cancerous, so that increases their risk.
But good medicine and good parenting can overcome most of these obstacles. That's something Olivia's mom knows well.
You just want them to be happy. So, you're just looking for them to be regular.
Now Olivia's 4 years old, 44 pounds, and looking forward to a bright future.
Now, we also know that low socioeconomic status plays an important role in both of these, heavy birth weight babies and low birth weight babies, but it's just not clear how large of a role or how large that impact really is. Dr. Sean Caniff, CBS 4 News.
So I guess being average pays off. Thank you, Doctor. That does it for CBS 4 News at 5. CBS 4 News at 6 with Rob Hanrahan and Beatrice Canal starts right now.
Now, live. This is CBS 4 News at 6.
Off the top at 6 right now, South Florida gets a soaking as strong storms move through our area.
And here's a live look for you outside right now on this very dreary evening. Parts of the area got drenched today, and some spots are still getting pounded right now.
Yeah, so let's get right to Chief Meteorologist David Bernard here to tell us what's in store for tonight. David, more?
Rob, we're going to start right now with the metro area, and we have some moderate rain along Alligator Alley extending into northern and western Broward, but most of the rain is very light now, especially into Miami-Dade. Just a few sprinkles. There's some more moderate rain out over the Everglades, and everything is moving from west to east, so that's why I think it's going to be kind of a rainy night, off and on rain, most of it light, especially for the next 3 to 4 hours. Now, if you're in the Keys, the rain is moderate to heavy from Marathon all the way down to Key West. It's been like that off and on most of the day, and then it gets lighter from Isla Mirada and back to Key Largo, but a big expansive area of rain still in the southeast Gulf of Mexico with an upper level low, and that's why I think the rainy weather could be here to stick around for a while. Let me show you some rain totals so far today. One of the heavier numbers at Opelika, 1.22 inches. That was the total there, nearly an inch at Pompano and also at Fort Lauderdale. But notice South Day today, not much, none at West Kendall, and very light amounts at Homestead at 4/100ths of an inch. So why all the rainy weather? Well, that's because we've had this upper low sticking around. Let's go back 24 hours. There were big storms on the Texas coast yesterday, and we saw this curl in the atmosphere overnight. That came across the Gulf of Mexico, and boom, it exploded when it hit the deep moisture over Florida. And there you have it, the rainy setup for us today. And this low is going to be slow to move out, and as a result, I think the rain is going to stick around. So there was the low yesterday, bringing the tropical moisture our direction. Today, it was in the perfect setup for us to have heavy rain. Now, tomorrow, the low will continue to move off to the east, but I still think there's going to be a moisture tail lingering behind that and some upper level energy, and that means there's a very good chance that storms are going to linger. I'll let you know how heavy the rain could get and what's in store for the weekend coming up in a few minutes.
A South Florida school principal is charged tonight in connection with a campus sex scandal. This one involves a star football player and allegations of a cover-up. CBS 4's Leave Davalos is live in Miami with details for us. Leave.
Well, it took the Miami-Dade County Grand Jury several months for them to finish this 35-page report titled Justice Intercepted, the All-Consuming Power of Football. It alleges former principal Dwight Bernard chose the glory of football over the safety of a young girl. With his arms handcuffed behind his back, former Miami Northwestern Senior High School principal Dwight Bernard tries to avoid the news cameras as he's escorted to jail. A far cry from the glory days when his school won the state football championship last year with the help of star running back Antoine Easterling. Now Bernard is facing felony charges of covering up and failing to report his knowledge that 18-year-old Easterling and later several other students had consensual sex with a 14-year-old freshman in the girls' bathroom.
When a crime occurs in this community, it is to be reported. It is to be reported to law enforcement. That is not what was done in this case.
In fact, Dade County State Attorney Catherine Fernandez-Rundle says that in all, about 21 administrators knew about the incidents. But Principal Bernard reassured them that he would take all responsibility of reporting it to school police. He didn't, and the state championships with their star player went on, the school's name remaining untarnished while the victim went into a downward spiral.
That little girl now is seeking psychiatric treatment after attempts of suicide.
Miami-Dade County School Police only came to know about the situation after the victim's mother asked about her daughter's case, which police knew nothing about. Dade County School Police Sergeant and school alumni William Thurston says changes have to be made.
That's my message to everyone, is that do the right thing when it comes down to the children.
Now, Bernard, who could face up to 10 years in prison, just released a statement through his attorney claiming that he is a convenient scapegoat in a failed system of accountability within the Miami-Dade County public school system. We're live in Miami. Lee Davalo, CBS 4 News.
And to see the full grand jury report, all you have to do is log on to CBS4.com and click on local news.
Right now, police in Miami-Dade and Broward counties are searching for a 22-year-old tourist who disappeared Memorial Day weekend. She's an honors student who went out for a night of fun but never returned. CBS 4's David Sutta live now at Miami-Dade Police Headquarters, where he just spoke to the family, didn't you, David?
Absolutely, and they're telling me about their daughter, a very bright young lady, just graduated college, was planning on taking the LSAT. We also got this photo of her, a very beautiful young lady who apparently now has vanished.
Each day we get up, we just pray and cry and pray that she comes home safely.
It may be one of the most painful things a mother can go through. Sylvia Henry making a plea to anyone to help find her daughter.
It's very serious that Stepha didn't come home because she's not one to run off.
22-year-old Stepha Henry was visiting South Florida Memorial Day weekend. She called her mother on the 29th, then went to Pepper's Cafe in Sunrise. These surveillance pictures released late Wednesday are the last moments detectives have been able to put together before Stepha vanished.
We're looking for a four-door, dark, Acura Integra, somewhere here in South Florida.
While detectives hope the car may drum up new leads,
Because I have no doubt that she is coming back home.
Stepha's reverend and classmates at John Jay College in New York held a vigil, hoping for some resolution.
I just pray that some resolution can be brought, because day to day living with this uncertainty is just incredibly painful.
They are not alone. As a mother prays, she will see her daughter again.
My daughter has to be alive because we believe strongly in God, the whole family, and we believe she's alive.
Now, if you recognize Stepha Henry, you may have seen her in the last couple of weeks or have seen a dark-colored Acura Integra. You're asked to call Miami-Dade Crime Stoppers. That number, 305-471-TIPS. You could remain anonymous and be eligible for a reward. We're live here in Doral. David Sutta, CBS 4 News.
All right, thank you, David. An army of state inspectors is fanning out across South Florida today. They want to know if Florida's gas stations are complying with a state law meant to prevent the huge gas lines that we all saw after Hurricane Wilma. CBS 4 consumer investigator Al Sunshine is live at our hurricane phone bank tonight with more on this story. Al.
Hey, Beatrice, you know, as we reported exclusively here several weeks ago, it turns out most of the state's gas stations are not ready at the start of hurricane season, and that's a problem. And the state today wants to make sure that those stations get the message that they have to be ready. Well, today, state inspectors were out statewide issuing violations to gas stations that weren't ready, violations that could end up with criminal charges filed against gas station owners.
There
were supposed to be ready by June 1st, the start of hurricane season, because under a new state law, emergency power systems like generators or electrical hookups were required on more than 1,000 gas stations next to emergency evacuation routes. But as we've been reporting exclusively right here on CBS 4 News, most of the state's gas stations were not ready with their emergency backup power systems when hurricane season started. Now, state inspectors like Hedrick Rodriguez are checking local gas stations and issuing formal warnings if they're still not ready to stay in business if a bad storm knocks out their power.
Making sure that they have a setup where they could just hook up a generator and the store could run with that external power. Store lights, cash registers, safety lights, and pumps.
Like so many other gas stations around South Florida, Rodriguez found this Miramar Citgo station was not ready. It was issued a formal notice of violation.
They have to get all the paperwork ready within 10 days, showing that they are getting a contractor to get the work done to install the hookups. And that's pretty much about it. As far as that's all I could do right now.
So why wasn't the station ready with an emergency backup power system as required by the state's new law? Well, manager Shalid Dalwar says he's referred the issue to his main office and he's waiting to hear back from them.
It's not set up yet, so we just talked to our office, so they will be done it for that.
Okay, which one did you say that was?
Okay, now it turns out that a recent check by the state found that only 20% of Florida's gasoline terminals, those are suppliers to local gas stations, only 20% had any kind of backup power. So that means in the event of emergency, even more critically, the distributors may not be prepared either, and you can be sure the state is going to be double checking that. Now, hey, if you have any questions about hurricane preparedness, gas stations, safety, what to do about any kind of special needs, just give a call to our Neighbors for Neighbors Hurricane phone bank. The number 597-4404. We're here for you till 6:30 with the information you need to know. I'm Al Sunshine, CBS 4 News.
All right, Al, a new poll shows Florida voters want major property tax relief. Really, who doesn't? But they don't want to give up police or fire protection to pay for them. 76% of those surveyed said they would consider significant tax relief to be at least a 10% cut. 55% of respondents said they'd be willing to trade lower property taxes for reduced local government services, but here's the rub. They overwhelmingly rejected cuts for police and fire departments, among other services. Now, for complete results on this poll, go to CBS4.com. Click on Consumer. CBS 4's Brian Andrews will be in Tallahassee for the special session, which starts Tuesday. We can look for his report starting Monday right here on CBS 4 News.
There's a new push, right here in South Florida to fight childhood obesity. And this campaign is getting a major boost from a Miami Heat superstar. CBS 4's health specialist, Dr. Sean Caniff, explains it to us.
Here you can see behind me, hundreds of kids are joining me for one big party because it's an important party, all intended to fight childhood obesity, which is an epidemic. NBA All-Star Alonzo Mourning has teamed up with Miami Children's Hospital and the Miami-Dade Parks Department to have some fun about fighting fat.
These Miami-Dade camp kids are having a blast while battling the bulge.
Are you guys going to eat healthy and exercise after all this?
Yeah! Miami-Dade Department of Parks and Recreation has launched a new campaign, Fit to Play, Fit for Life. It's a partnership with Miami Children's Hospital, all to get kids moving and thinking about their health and their waistlines.
Trying to improve the health status of kids in the entire community.
The issue of childhood obesity is just growing, not only in our community, but nationwide.
There was a ton of dancing and these creepy crayfish for the kids. Those were being cooked up by Chef Alex of Christabel's Quarter. And as the rain and thunder rolled in, so did the Heat. I mean the Miami Heat's Alonzo Mourning. The NBA All-Star teamed up with Nike to give away 2,000 pairs of Nike sneakers.
I think it's very impactful and it's very well needed.
A little free footwear for these fit-to-play kids.
So while the weather didn't hold up today, hopefully the lessons learned here will. And parents, remember, it all starts with you. So put healthy meals on your kids' table and make sure they're exercising. Dr. Sean Caniff,
CBS 4 News!
But it's amazing. I really think that kids are so
That
cute.
looks like a lot of fun.
They know about health these days. My son, who's only 5, will ask me, Mom, is that healthy?
He's not already watching his weight.
No, he loves
He's a
French
skinny
fries.
little guy.
But he'll ask.
He will.
Yeah,
well, that's
so
good.
they're conscious.
It'll lead to a long, healthy life. Coming up, a South Florida business and so much more. How a nursery helps the mentally challenged and why it may soon be forced to close its doors.
David Bernard in Weather Control. Just some light rain now, but I'm tracking heavier rain on real-time Doppler 4. I'll let you know how it will affect your evening and, more importantly, what it means for the weekend. My forecast is coming up next.
All right, David. Plus, some South Florida children get the opportunity of a lifetime. They get to work side by side with a famous South Florida artist.
I'm Kim Bokamper live in Davie. Well, it took months, but the Dolphins finally get their man. Trent Green will be the Fins' new quarterback. How is that going to affect Dante Culpepper? Well, I'll tell you all about that coming up a little bit later here on Sports.
I think good local news coverage is news that's relevant to your life, news that makes a difference, and news that makes you an informed citizen.
CBS 4's Elliot Rodriguez.
People are worried about their safety, about their children's education, about their taxes, and it's important for us to get that information as fast as possible, but it's more important for us to get that information right and to be fair about it and be objective, and that's what I try to do every single day.
At Delta Dental, we've always thought it was better to stick to one thing and do it really well. So dental is all we do. Not fire, not theft, not auto, life, or even medical insurance. Just the best group dental plans. Ask your employer or benefits advisor about Delta Dental. We keep you smiling.
Today is a good day because his dreams are simple. What will I eat for lunch? Will I find a sand dollar? Is my dad proud of me? Today is a good day because all there is just water and sunshine and a patch of sand between a father and son. Imagine how good tomorrow will be. Get your free Beaches of Fort Myers Sanibel Visitor's Guide.
I gotta be honest with you, standing there is not gonna help me make a decision. I'm gonna need you to back off.
Do stuff faster. Sign up for Comcast high-speed internet for just $19.99 a month for 6 months. It's way faster than DSL from your phone company. And now with Power Boost, your fast connection is even faster. Just call today. Comcast high-speed internet with Power Boost. It's Comcastic.
There are trillions of allergens circulating throughout the average American home. But now, Trane introduces the first central air system that removes up to 99.98% of the allergens from all the air that it heats or cools. Trane Clean Effects. Isn't it time you expected more from your system?
Get a mail-in rebate up to $1,200, plus 6 months same-as-cash financing with the purchase of a qualifying Trane comfort system. Call 1-800-NEW-COOL.
It's hard to stop a train.
Now we want to tell you a place that helps the mentally challenged by giving them a place to work.
But unfortunately tonight, money woes could force it to shut down, leaving many employees there without a way to earn a paycheck. CBS 4's Shamari Stone tells us about the Log Cabin Nursery and how you can help out.
The owner says he could run this business successfully if it were a regular business, but it's not. It's a special place that gives back to the mentally challenged, and it gives them a sense of pride, dignity that he says they otherwise may not receive. Gladstone Phillips' emotions are running low like the water in this fountain.
It just seemed like we're falling, we're by ourselves, and no support from whether the community or from other agencies.
He has owned the Log Cabin Nursery on Miami Beach for 3 decades, growing beautiful flowers and plants. It might close in 2 weeks. That's because a City of Miami Beach committee decided not to recommend funding for the nursery.
We had gotten a donation for about $60,000 3 years ago. I've used that to propel us for the past 3 years.
It employs 30 mentally challenged adults who do everything from sweeping to taking care of the flowers.
Most of these students, I've known them for the past 25, 30 years, and it's just not a very good situation.
Ada Duffy has helped the Log Cabin Nursery for 15 years.
The reason I love to do it is because I see where the money goes. And the wonderful workers here, I like to be able to support them, and it's just a wonderful thing.
Now, if you would like to help out the Log Cabin Nursery, you can call our Neighbors for Neighbors hotline at 305-597-4404. The owner says that if he doesn't receive close to $56,000 over the next couple of weeks, then this place will have to close down for good. On Miami Beach, I'm Shamari Stone, CBS 4 News.
It's just a shame that funding is so tight that 2 weeks is all they have with that.
And for a place that helps out so much.
Hopefully people will help out and keep them going. Well, I want to tell you about this. New technology now is allowing FEMA to produce water from air. Take a look at this. Operators filling 5-gallon bags with pure water just taken out of the air. For 40 cents a gallon, FEMA says it's cheaper to use this new invention than to truck in water in the case of an emergency. FEMA hopes it won't have to use this anytime soon. We all do, but just in case disaster strikes, the agency is preparing. That's an amazing piece of equipment to make water from air.
You could do that.
They do now.
And we all remember the Wilma water line.
Oh, it was awful, just like those gas lines. Hopefully we will not see that this year.
Hopefully not, but we'll wait and see. June 1st wasn't a very good indicator, was it, when we had Barry?
Not at all.
Didn't like that at all.
What about the rain out there? A lot of it today.
There's a little bit today, and this evening it's looking a little bit better. So let's go to our planner this evening. It's definitely going to be muggy. You can count on some showers being around, but I don't think any heavy rain for the evening hours. Overnight, mainly showers. I can't rule out a clap of thunder. Then tomorrow morning, it looks like the storms will rebuild. 78 for the morning rush. Here's real-time Doppler 4, and again, just light rain over Metro Broward and Miami-Dade. A little bit more moderate rain showing up with a shower near Homestead and Cutler Bay, but everything moving very quickly from the west to the east. The rain does get heavier in the Keys, moderate to occasionally heavy rain from Key West all the way back to Marathon, and this rain extends well out into the Gulf of Mexico, and then heavier storms back to the Bahamas. So I think during the overnight period, as is typically the case this time of year, the heaviest rain will stay over the Gulf and the Atlantic waters. As it moves inland, it will tend to weaken. That's why I think mainly light to moderate rain for the inland areas during the overnight period. 78 is the weather conditions right now at Weather Control. 77 at the airport, 78 Fort Lauderdale. Key West is at 73 degrees. The stickiness scale, that's a 6, and that's fairly sticky. At east winds at 3. There's our rain total today, just 21/100ths of an inch in Doral. But check out these rain totals, almost 2 3/4 at West and Coconut Creek, just shy of 1 1/4 inches, around 1 inch at Pompano Beach, and just over that at Oakland Park, and pretty decent amounts for Plantation and also Davie. The heaviest rain amount today, El Portal, 3.73, and not bad at North Miami Beach, just shy of 2 1/4. Same with Medley. But then look, the rain kind of cut off right there at the Dolphin. The rain amounts were much lighter here at CBS 4 back to the airport, and West Kendall didn't report any rain, and very light amounts at Homestead. And of course in the Keys, it's been raining all day long. Key West 1.4 now and up to 0.81 at Marathon. I expect those rain totals will likely to continue to go up as we go throughout the evening hours. How about Lake Okeechobee today? Of course, we've been updating you every day on our lake conditions, and all the rain today, just about most of it, fell south of the lake, so that's not going to really help things out too much. The lake level today is at 8.97 feet. That's still very low, but it's up a little bit from where our record low was last week. Remember, we set a new record low at 8.89, and that is still well below where we should be for this time of the year. Muggy downpours, that was the headline today. Look at our true view for tomorrow. It's not going to be a very pretty picture again. In fact, I think storms are going to be likely, and there could be a few downpours in spots. A slight chance we might see a little bit more sunshine tomorrow, but not much more. And then as we go into Friday, fewer storms. So each day the amount of storms are going to decrease. More sun on Friday, a few storms around. Then as we go into Saturday, we'll continue to warm up, and I'll say just some spotty storms. And then finally for Sunday, I think most of the storms are going to be inland over the Everglades. So we'll say lots of warm sun and mostly dry. 74 for tonight, rain in spots, and it could be heavy in a couple of locations. And then tonight into tomorrow, 86, limited sun, storms build again, and there could be some downpours. Here's the boating forecast. East 10 to 15, seas 2 to 4. The bays will see a moderate chop. In the outlook as we go into the weekend, well, we see fewer storms, and so that means more sun, and that will translate this time of the year into warmer temperatures, so near 90 by Sunday. Check out real-time Doppler 4 on CBS4.com. The weather's always on.
I like that. You can check it out. Your neighborhood right there on Doppler.
At any time.
Yeah, thanks, Evan.
Well, the artist best known for his attention-grabbing paintings is getting help from some little artist to complete his latest masterpiece. Romero Brito painted alongside 120 students at the Museum of Art in Fort Lauderdale today. They're creating replica panels of a 45-foot pyramid, which will be installed in London later this year. This project is being done to commemorate King Tut's return to England after 35 years. For more on this story, all you have to do is pick up a copy of tomorrow's Miami Herald.
They're all staying inside the lines there. We'll be back with sports next.
A Discovery cruise offers all the amenities of a longer cruise in one fun-filled day to the Bahamas. Free lavish buffet meals are included. Visit discoverycruiseline.com. Even choose to cruise and stay.
If you see news in the making, dial star CBS 4 on your Metro PCS cellular phone. The CBS 4 News Tip Line is sponsored by Metro PCS. Permission to speak freely.
Need relief from constipation? Take Dulcolax and sleep on it. Dulcolax works during the night to give you gentle, effective relief of your constipation the next morning. Dulcolax has a special comfort coating that protects your stomach so it works right where it's needed for gentle overnight relief. Guaranteed. And you're back to your natural self in the morning. Dulcolax. Gentle, predictable relief.
We've been thinking about early retirement.
My dad said we should check out the old country. I'm not sure this is the old country Dad was talking about.
Find your perfect place at Remax.com. Whether you're looking for something close by or far away, Remax.com gives you more home listings to choose from than ever. Nobody sells more real estate than Remax.
Seriously, 4 feet by 5 feet. Well, apparently not, because I'm looking right at it.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Are you serious?
Just give it a try. Role play.
What's your name? He doesn't say anything because he's a doll.
Geico.com. So easy, a caveman can do it.
When you want the whole story, count on the combined resources of CBS 4 News and the Miami Herald, working together every day to cover your world.
Closed captioning provided by City Furniture. Now offering same-day delivery, 7 days a week.
Dolphins making some big changes. I think they used the phrase taking a new direction.
That's usually what they use when they make major changes.
Yeah,
Kim Bokemper standing by at Dolphins camp for us. What's new now, Kim?
Well, you talk about a new direction. Cam Cameron squarely puts his stamp on the Dolphin offense today, completing a trade for Trent Green after what seemed like months and months of haggling. The 36-year-old quarterback is introduced today at the Dolphins' Davie facility. Now, the Dolphins got the two-time Pro Bowler from Kansas City for a conditional fifth-round draft pick in 2008. Green's season ended last year on that hit in the first game of the season. Trent suffered a concussion that cost him 8 games. Now, he's a career 60% passer with well over 26,000 yards in the air. And as far as his health, Green said he is more than ready to go and plans to play for a long, long time.
I feel, from a body standpoint, I feel really good. And you know, whether it's 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever it may be, as long as I feel good and I feel like I'm playing at a high level and that I'm contributing to help this team win, you know, I want to keep playing.
So just how long will Green be the Dolphins starter? And that's a pretty good question. Now, one of his roles with his team will be to mentor rookie second-rounder John Beck. Now, while Trent plans on being more than just a teacher, he is also more than willing to help Beck, that is, if he wants to help himself along the way.
I think the best thing for him to do is, you know, to watch how I prepare, watch how I study tape, watch how I practice, how I interact with other players. And then he's got to develop his own way.
All right, with Green labeled as the Dolphins starter, and that's exactly what he's going to be, it looks like Dante Culpepper is the odd man out in the quarterback derby. Dante, you know, has been around for a while, and he was told by Cam Cameron this morning that the team plans on going in another direction at quarterback. In other words, Trent is the man. Now, today, Cameron hinted that a move could be made involving Dante by as soon as Friday, the opening day of the Dolphins minicamp. Whatever move they do make with Culpepper, it certainly appears that his days in Miami are numbered.
We did meet this morning with Dante at length, Dante, Randy, and myself. And Randy and I are still working through some things.
All right, we're going to have a lot more Dolphin talk coming up Sunday night on Sports Wrap. I'll go one-on-one with the newest Dolphin, Trent Green. The wrap begins after late news. You can catch it right here on CBS 4. Well, the Marlins wrap up their series with Atlanta in style. They play long